And welcome back to Where's My Tail? I'm Brant.
I'm Lisa.
And this is our very first episode of our WMT Comic Countdown. So, we have each read our books, and we're ready. I know this is a little bit later than we intended.
Yeah, we had good reason.
Yes, we were out of town, then we were very sick. If you guys watched our last haul video, you'll get all the details on that. But we're going to try to do these countdowns regularly on like Monday or Tuesday. Try to get them up before the next Wednesday. So you'll actually get 2 this week for last week's books and this week. So this is for last week's books that came out on October 28th. So I actually read a few more books than you did.
Yeah.
I read 14, you read 11.
It was a little week.
Yeah, it was
for me.
Yeah, it was a small week for me. So I'm going to start off with my first, my bottom 3, and then we'll alternate from there.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So coming in number 14 for me, and I've read all of these so far. Is What If Infinity Dark Reign number 1. It's just a What If series they're doing on the whole Infinity crossover that they did a couple of years ago.
I don't know what.
Infinity. It was
the Infinity Gauntlet story.
It was just called Infinity. It was an Avengers crossover, and that's what at the end the Terrigen Mist got released.
Oh, okay.
All that. It was a Thanos.
That
It was an
makes sense
Infinity Gauntlet thing.
Why they would bring it.
Yeah. So yeah, they were doing this whole What If series of one shots for the past few weeks. The Dark Reign one I felt like was the weakest one of them all, and it was Norman Osborn got the Infinity Gauntlet, and he was like changing things, and at the end he kind of he wiped his father, spoiler alert, he wiped his father out of existence, so it wiped him out of existence, and he was really stupid, and it's kind of a dumb plot, but
okay.
Whatever. So that was why it was my number 14 there. Next up was Chewbacca number 2, which I originally said I wasn't going to read this, but ended up reading it, and it's just getting worse for me. Did you didn't read? You did read this, okay? Well, we'll get to your opinion on it later. Yeah, the first issue was kind of weak, and this one was just even weaker for me, and I'm just not enjoying it. I'm not even sure I'm going to read the rest of the series. And then, so that's 14, 13, 12 for me was Cyborg number 4. I actually really enjoyed the first issue of this series. The second issue I thought was still decent, but not quite as good. 3 kind of stepped down for me, and this issue just kind of lost me altogether. It seems like it's really declining in the dog is scratching at the door like crazy.
She's super annoying.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, that's why it ends up at number 12. So, but that brings us to our top 11.
Yes.
So you can go and then we'll
I
alternate.
can go first.
Yeah. Sure.
My least favorite was actually this one right on top.
Wow, okay.
New Adventures number 2. I hated the first one and I didn't like this one anymore.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like those
Crystal
guys.
Head.
The Crystal Head
But
people.
you gotta admit, it did end in this issue.
It didn't end.
Yeah, it did. They defeated all the Crystal Head people. They're done.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
So
But
now it's
still,
moving on to something else.
They're moving on to the big bad that he unlocked.
Yeah.
But I don't know any of these people. I don't like Squirrel Girl, really. She is a little bit annoying.
Yeah, this version of her, definitely.
And I didn't even know who the maker was until this.
Oh, really? He's the Ultimate Universe Reed Richards.
So, it's just not my thing.
Okay, well that's fair
But
enough.
the art was really nice in this one.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Except for Squirrel Girl.
Right, the teeth that are like 2 inches long and 3-4 inches long. Yeah, I'll get to my opinion on this when we reach it in my countdown, because it's a little bit higher for me. My number 11, I know it's in here somewhere. I don't want to get them out of order for you. You probably got them in your order. You don't have them in order. My number 11, Batgirl, number 45. I really did not like this issue. It took a long time for me to warm up to this new version of Batgirl, and yeah, I finally did, and I appreciated what they were doing, but then they go and do this issue, and it totally lost me. They changed the art. It's all sappy. Honestly, it's a little bit girly.
Yeah.
I still don't like the fact that hers and Luke Cage's relationship literally came out of absolutely nowhere. And now all of a sudden they're boyfriend and girlfriend and going to a wedding together after one issue of a kiss. It just makes no sense. I mean,
but look how dreamy.
It's cute art, but it's like straight out of, I don't know, 50s Archie. I don't know, it doesn't fit. I just didn't like it. And I thought Barbara was a little bit out of character, so I just really did not like that issue at all. I'm sorry.
Okay, so my number 10 was actually the same book, Batgirl 45. But I really like the art. That's my favorite thing about it. But this is my first Batgirl book ever.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry.
It was like, yeah, it was sappy and it's not what you expect. You expect her to go kick some butt or something.
You have to read, yeah, exactly. You have to read Gail Simone's Batgirl run. Now, that's an absolute must. That is good Batgirl.
That's good Batgirl.
Mm-hmm. Or even Brian T. Miller's pre-New 52 Stephanie Brown Batgirl. That was also very good.
But yeah, I agree with most of the things you said, except that I really like the art.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, so my number 10 was actually Superman 45. I thought this was a step up for the book. It's still not the best storytelling going on here. Different artist now. It's not John Romita Jr. anymore, so I can actually read it again. But I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry. It was an okay story up until the point where he joins a fight club. Then it lost me. I was like,
Yeah, he was telling me about it. I was asking if I should read it, and then he said it ends with a fight club, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe not.
It was weak sauce, and it's like I didn't explain this part, but the other participants in the fight club, they're gods that everybody's forgotten about. So
Boy, there's a lot of god stuff going on.
Yeah,
right now.
it's weird. So I thought it was decent up until that point, but that lost me. So.
Oh man. So my number 9 is actually, let me make sure. I wish my phone would stay on. Like,
yeah, mine too. Mine's.
My number 9 is a new Image book called Black Magic. I just really figured out pretty quick that it's not for me. But the art is really, really good. But I don't know. It's a little too real.
Okay. I'll give my thoughts on that one later as well. My number 9 is actually New Avengers, number 2.
See, it was pretty low for you.
Yeah, it was pretty low. It wasn't.
It's driving me crazy.
I know.
Can I let her
yeah,
in?
you can let her in.
I'll be back.
Okay. First of all, the art in this book, like you said, is absolutely fantastic. I really love the art. It's like you can see a little bit of it there. It's storming.
Yeah.
Dogs are freaking out.
That's why she wanted it so bad.
Yeah. The Crystal Head people, I didn't like this whole part either. That whole storyline of it. Did you enjoy the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents hulking out? By the way.
The S.H.I.E.L.D. agents?
Yeah, it was the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. That's who.
No, the Crystal guys hulked out.
I know, but they were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents.
Oh, okay.
That's what he was talking about. He was like, they're the that Black Ops team or whatever that they sent into the field that got taken over by this crystal thing.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the hulking out.
Yeah, they were gamma irradiated, so. Yeah, there a lot of missteps. This was a definite step down from issue 1 for me, but I do like the maker. I like the villainous aspect of a Reed Richards bad guy. I think it's interesting, and I think it's got potential. So I'm going to stick with it a little bit longer to see where they go with the next arc.
She's even noisier now.
I know.
So sorry.
So,
I will say that I think if I get to know the characters a little better, that would probably improve.
Yeah. I think the main reason I wanted to try it, because I'm a big Sunspot fan. He was in the original X-Force. And I was a big fan of his, and then he kind of disappeared for a bit, and came back here and there. And
isn't he somebody's brother?
Sunspot?
Yeah. Maybe I'm mixing him up with someone.
I don't know. I'm not
Never
sure.
mind.
Rainy, lay down. Alright, so you're number 8?
My number 8 was Angela of Hell, I think. Number 1.
Oh, almost. Come on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Come on.
Oh wow. My biggest gripe with it was the art changes from at the very beginning when you have it raining. What's your number 8, Rainy? Huh? The art changes from pretty standard comic art at the beginning, and it changes to this really beautiful art in the middle. And I was like, ooh, wow, this looks great. And then it goes back to the art at the end, which was really strange. But neither of them were bad. It was just, I thought it felt disjointed when they did that. But it's so low because I don't know that much about her. And he was trying to explain it to me.
Yeah.
That she was introduced to the Asgard mythology because of the whole Spawn thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, I don't know. I think I will read the next one just to see because it ended in a cliffhanger like they always do. But
yeah, of course.
it just wasn't the most enjoyable read for me this week.
Alright, so what are we up to? 8?
Yeah, you're up to 8.
My number 8 was Grayson 13, number 13. Issue 12, I fell off the series. I really liked the first issue. The second issue kind of fell off for me. So I stopped reading the book. And then everybody on Frontline was saying issue 12 was phenomenal. It was great. It was the first time we ever saw the Bat Family and the New 52 like they should be. And I read it, and it was really, really good. So going into this issue, I was expecting more of the same. Mm-hmm. Weren't you expecting more of the same too? So unfortunately it went back into the Spiral, the spy organization he's part of, and his his undercover work there, and trying to get to the bottom of that whole thing. It did have some connections to like Batman and Robin Eternal because it had mentions of Mother, and he was talking with Tim Drake and stuff, and they're still trying to figure it out. So it still had some of those tie-ins to the whole thing, but it went a little bit back too much to the Spiral thing for me, so it fell down a little bit, and that's why it's a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one next month, I think. I think I'd actually like the spy organization part. I really liked the show Alias.
I never watched it.
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of maybe like it's similar.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe not.
All right. So what's your next one?
My next one is.
What's your next one, Rainy? What's your next one, Rainy?
Chewbacca number 2.
Chewbacca number 2. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think it's cute.
Okay.
It's a simple, cute, fast read.
It's true.
And it is just. I thought it was a little better than the first one.
Did you?
Just because something actually happens. You know?
Yeah.
The first one was really slow to me a little bit. Or too fast.
Did you feel like the art stepped down in this issue though? I felt like the art stepped down a little bit.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
Not that I recall. I really like the way they color him in this. He looks fluffy and like he's supposed to. And I think the little girl is cute. Did you think she was a boy at the beginning?
No.
I did.
Did you?
I was like, why? Why'd they call it her? Her.
Gosh.
Why'd they call her? She. But yeah, because her hair's so short.
Yeah.
And she's just young. I just thought, oh, it's a little boy.
Okay.
Like, I enjoyed the part where he busts in and he's just gonna shoot the place up, and they're like, don't, it's gonna explode. Yeah. I don't know why the grubs would explode.
Don't even.
But, no, I enjoyed it.
The bottom one, right there.
This one?
Yeah. Alright, so my number 7, that's number 7, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Is actually a book I did not intend on reading at all.
It's my fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. Lisa got it and she was like, it's good, you should read it. Art Ops, number 1 from Image. No, not Image, it's Vertigo, sorry.
Yeah.
Vertigo, who writes it? I don't remember who writes it.
You look?
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Oh, you're petting the dog?
Yeah. I know who draws it. We'll get into that in a minute. But I do
Where
not
are the
remember.
credits, people?
They might be at the back.
Oh. Why did they start doing that?
DC does that sometimes. They're weird. Yeah. No.
No.
Wow.
Maybe it's just on the cover. Simon.
Oh,
Sean Simon.
Sean Simon. Okay, I'm not really familiar with his writing. That's the reason I like this book, though. I enjoyed the story. It's an interesting story where where paintings come to life. This particular issue focused on Mona Lisa, and they brought her out to basically protect her, and they replaced her with somebody. And then you meet the leader of this team's son, and he's got some issues. He loses a limb actually, and they have to replace it with some interesting means.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting story. It's fresh, it's unique, it's different. The detraction for me, which is why it's a little bit lower, is that it's Mike Allred art, and you guys know how I feel about Mike Allred art. It is not my favorite thing. Honestly, it's not just the style, and I'll actually show you a page that I really did like. Thank you, Rainey, for moving over for me. If I can find it real quick, because I don't want to take. Yeah, there we go. He does some really good background detail. You can see that cityscape there. So he does really good background detail. It's his anatomy that I have issues with, and I don't want to trash on the guy. I've heard interviews with him and stuff, and he seems like a decent enough guy. But stuff like, okay, look at the foreshortening on that. I'm going to show you guys. Top panel, the girl on the steps. It's just, stuff like that really bothers me. And let me get a close-up of the eyes, because that's another problem I have. Everybody, and look at these. They look like they're just, I don't know, it's weird. Look at that. I'm just not a fan of his art at all, and I'm apologize to fans of Mike Allred. He's not my preferred artist, but I really did enjoy the story, so I had to give it props and had to judge it for that. So there you go.
Okay.
Sorry to ramble about it.
You always do. It's okay.
No.
So we're up to number 6. My number 6 was Aquaman, actually. Aquaman number 45. And
is it 45 or 46? Yeah, it's 45. You're right.
We had bought issue 44 because we saw that Cullen Bunn had taken over.
Yeah.
And so I caught up with issue 44 and 45, and this one actually takes him to an alien planet.
Oh, okay.
And it's still tying in with the storyline where there was another Atlantean civilization, they sort of split off, and now they're I don't know all of it because I skipped. I'm just starting in at the beginning, not the beginning, here.
Yeah.
So, and he and Mira are at odds about what to do about this.
Okay.
He wants to save people, and she wants to exterminate them so that they will be safe.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
She wants to keep Atlantis safe.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really in this issue. It was just him on the new planet.
Yeah.
He got teleported there.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Well, my number 6 was, if I can get to it, Captain America Sam Wilson, number 2. We both really enjoyed the first issue. Where are you going, Rainey? Okay. Did you like this one as much as the first issue? You didn't. Okay. I did and I didn't. I like the explanation of where him and Steve Rogers stand now.
I did like that too.
Yeah. And it explains why they're at odds, and it's not why you might think at the beginning of the issue, and he actually kind of plays that out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I liked the interaction with him and Misty Knight and explaining her stance and everything too. I thought the flashbacks got a little bit overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
They played to that trope a little bit too much. Rainey. She's licking an empty bowl right now. This armadillo character, I could take or leave him. It's still very political. If you guys aren't into the political aspect of it, you're not going to enjoy this. I can guarantee it. But I do enjoy where it's going. I think it needs to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
and hopefully now that he's like teleported out of a plane here, we will get to that.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the issue. I think the art is really well done. And I don't think we really are crooked. But anyway,
Oh, well.
I enjoyed the issue. I think it's got potential as well. So I'm still going to read it.
Yeah. I can go ahead and say this was my number 5.
Okay, there you go.
So,
As I try to adjust the camera. Go ahead.
yeah, I didn't like it quite as well as the first one, mainly for the political stuff. It felt a little too ripped from the headlines.
Yeah.
That was my main issue.
Right.
I did like the Captain America, the Steve Rogers stuff, so that now he can split off, and we know why
Yeah.
they're not really speaking and all that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But now it can go be his own thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I'll say my number 5 was We Are Robin, number 5. Excuse me. I really enjoyed the series. I like this whole new organization of Robins, and we're slowly learning more about who's kind of pulling the strings behind them. That it's not who they thought it was in the beginning, and yet this person still has some kind of connection to Bruce Wayne, and I think that's really interesting. In this particular issue, we focused on one of the Robins, a girl, and her brother, who is a gangbanger, and we've learned that he's kind of abusive towards her, and now, we kind of got a little flashback of her, and now she can handle herself, and this whole thing, I think it's interesting because it seems like every issue they give us a little bit more insight into one of the characters of one of the Robins, and we're seeing the Robins interact more with the Bat family as we see in Batman and Robin Eternal.
Yeah.
Sorry about all these glitches. Camera ran out of space. So anyway, wrap it up. We Are Robin, number 5, at my number 5. Really enjoyed it. So there you go.
Right, number 4 for me is a comic from Boom called Power Up.
Oh.
And it's about this random group of just weirdos.
Yeah, pretty much.
that are given these abilities and they don't know where they're from. And then this one, there's like, it's weird. In the last issue, there was like a weird god or a phoenix kind of thing that came down saying, give us our stuff back.
Okay.
And they're still trying to get their abilities, their magic back.
Right.
So you're slowly learning that where it's come from. But it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's a cute, funny book.
Yeah. I read the first 2 issues. I really liked them. Yeah. I just fell behind a little bit. But
Yeah.
I didn't get to catch up.
In this issue where there was like a possession, body snatchers kind of thing going on. It was interesting.
Yeah. It's a really fun, goofy series.
Yeah. It's only 4 issues.
Yeah.
So
that was it? That's the end?
there's one left.
That
Did I
was
say
issue
number 4?
Yeah, that is issue 4.
Then it must have been number 3. I must have written it down wrong here.
Oh, I could have sworn it was number 4.
No, because that wasn't the end, surely.
Maybe it's 5 issues long.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see.
I don't think that was the end. If that was the end, they
Yeah.
didn't do it very well.
Right. Coming in at number 4 for me was actually Black Magic, number 1. I agree with you that it's not really my thing, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep reading it. But I had to give all right, first of all, Greg Rucka, he writes Lazarus, which is another Image series that I really enjoy. I think he's a really strong storyteller.
Yeah.
And the story is interesting, but the real seller for me was the art. I'm going to find a really good page. I know you showed some of it too.
Yeah.
Did you show that page?
I don't know.
Okay. Nicola Scott's art is fantastic. She's done a lot of DC stuff. She's an amazing artist. I love her art style, and just the tone of this book. It really fits the story. You got this kind of washed out kind of grayscale going on here. Except for, I can't show that because it's going to spoil stuff, but they splash a little color here and there, which I really appreciated, the storytelling aspects of this book. Like you said, though, the ritualistic magic is a little bit much for me. It's a little bit too realistic for my taste. So I do really appreciate this book, and again, that's why it's in my top 5. but I don't think it's something that I'm gonna read long term.
Yeah, I agree with you on all the things that you said. It's just my list is more of what did I have the most fun reading.
Yeah, no, I get that, and usually that's the way mine is. It was too good structurally for me to ignore it for this particular one. So that's all.
Yeah. I understand. Okay, so number 3 for me was...
We're missing a book.
We are?
Yeah, what's your number 3?
Was Art Ops.
Oh, okay.
So, the one that he already talked about.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab the other book while you're talking about that.
Okay. I don't like being left alone.
I'm sorry. I'll be quick.
I really enjoyed it. I don't mind the art. I'll start off by saying that. And the using the pictures, having it be focused on famous art pieces is really interesting to me. And some of the jokes they made about the Mona Lisa were pretty fun. And it is pretty serious book. It starts off very serious.
Yeah, it does.
And but sometimes the art. Come on.
Jeez.
That dumb dog.
In or out, Rainy?
I was just gonna say, I get a little bit of what you're saying. Sometimes the art can pull you out of that a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem as serious as you would think.
Right.
But I still really enjoyed the story, and overall, it was good. And I like that the Mona Lisa is seeming to have a decent role.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that too. She was getting hit on by
a
grocery bagger or whatever. You didn't get to read this one, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did read this. Okay. All right. So my number 3 was Justice League: Dark Side of War Batman. I actually didn't get the physical copy until this week. That's why I was in the wrong pile. But I actually really enjoyed this book. I'm a little over the storyline, like I mentioned about Justice League on the live show, but at the same time, first of all, again, the art. You really like the art in this book too, right? I don't want to give too much away, but there's a good, nice cityscape there. It's really nice artwork by this guy Fernando Passarin. I mean, look at the facial expressions and everything.
I can just go ahead and mention this is my number 2.
Oh, okay. So my number 3, your number 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really interesting confrontation between James Gordon and Batman. How he basically was calling him on his crap, and he was like, you're seeing the limitations of the chair, and how much it's really affecting Batman, and how he still can't change the most important thing in his life. And I thought there was a lot of thematic. I can't even think of the words I'm trying to say. Just the thematic.
Don't ask me to help. I've been having trouble.
I know.
This whole time.
I'm like totally. The themes in this book are really strong towards the kind of everything that makes Batman who he is, everything that drives Bruce Wayne, and the way he feels like he's finally seen the light and has this opportunity and this power to change, to really affect change in the way that he's always wanted to, but at the root of it, he really can't change the most important aspects of his life.
But he won't admit that.
Yeah. But I thought that was brilliant storytelling, and I really enjoyed this book.
I liked how Alfred tried to get through to him. Yeah. And nothing's working. Right. The people that are most important to him, they can't even break through. Right.
So it's that's the only way you could go with Batman too, and I appreciate that. And then we see how it's going to continue into Justice League with who he's going after now. Yeah. I thought that was really good too. All right, so I guess I go on to my number 2 then, unless you want to mention any more thing about that. My number 2 then is Spider-Man 2099, number 2. Did you mention you get 2 books left?
I just accidentally brought this one. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't actually get to read it? Okay.
No.
All right, we'll put that because neither one of us read it. All right, so Spider-Man 2099, number 2. You guys know this left with a huge cliffhanger last issue, and I think we were all hoping that maybe that cliffhanger wasn't going to come to pass, but it is true. Tempest and her unborn child are dead. And Miguel is just flipping out. He's bent on finding out who did this and why and all this stuff, and you're seeing him go through this process and kind of go down that dark path a little bit of somebody that's grieving, and trying to face that, and he lashes out at Peter Parker and all this stuff, and he takes out the new suit, which I will show that we've seen teased. He finally accepts, because he had given it up. He'd given up that life but he was like, now I've got to take back that mantle. And then we see a new villain emerge that kind of leaves us on another cliffhanger. But it wasn't quite as strong as the first issue because it was just such an emotional ripping at your soul, basically, with the way it ended. But it was another very solid issue in the story, and I can't wait to see where this goes. So, there you go.
Cool.
Alright, so you're number 1.
I believe our number 1's match.
I think so, because it's the only book left in the pile. So our number 1 is?
Batman and Robin Eternal.
Alright,
number 4?
Number 4. Why was this your number 1?
I enjoyed seeing the We Are Robin guys come in, because I did start that series. I've just fallen behind. And I didn't understand. He had to explain to me that Bruce just doesn't remember that he was Batman. But I liked how it was so strange seeing him that way. Yeah. Because I'm so used to Batman being Batman.
Right. And he's kind of helpless. And
completely helpless.
Yeah. So you see him here just kind of being Bruce Wayne.
Is this the issue where they leave... Who do they leave alone? And she's like, why did you trust me to keep them here?
Yes, Stephanie.
I thought that was...
Yes, her. Yes.
Pretty good.
Spoiler, Stephanie. They left her to watch over the other two.
Like she could do anything.
Right, she's the least trained of all of them. Yeah. I like the way that Batgirl came into play, and wasn't there that altercation between her and Grayson? They referenced Batgirl 45.
Yeah.
Or 46, whichever issue it was.
I think it's 45.
Yeah, I think it is 45. They referenced that, and she was like, "Wait, you didn't know I was coming?" Like, no, because you see their rooftop discussion, which I don't know. It seemed like they parted on good ways in Batgirl, so it didn't make sense that they were kind of at odds here. But whatever.
See, that's what I expect from Batgirl.
Yeah, exactly. That is Batgirl. No, I agree with you. I love that We Are Robins in here, and how I love this scene where they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the first to wear that R."
Yeah.
Dick Grayson saying that. And then the cliffhanger. I don't think we want to...
Oh, yeah.
The cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Grayson starts suspecting somebody in the family is compromised. And we find out just who that is at the end, and it's, that's not good, because I love that character, and I don't want him to be compromised. Him, one of them.
Yeah, good save.
Yeah, but we saw a lot of furthering of the storyline in every aspect. We saw Bluebird let Cassandra Cain go and kind of follow her, and that's where Stephanie was coming in.
Yeah.
We saw Grayson teaming up with Robin saying, "I like what you're doing here." We saw Tim Drake in the Batcave.
Didn't he give them tips?
Yeah, he gave them tips and stuff, and they were like, we're doing okay with them. Like, we don't need you guys. And Batgirl was just showing everybody up, which is how Batgirl always should be. And Bruce Wayne just kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I love it. This is the first weekly series since probably New 52, not New 52, 52. You didn't read that.
I didn't read that. I was not reading comics then.
Since 52, that has really been worthwhile, and I actually think I enjoy this better. For every week, it seems to keep getting better and better. It's been in my top 5, except for maybe one issue every single time.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah, I thought I'd mention that for being a weekly series, you know how much the production schedule is ramped up, and the quality is still really good.
Yeah, the art has not slipped at all. Knock on wood. Yeah. But we've thumbed through issue 5, and the art is still strong because we got that this week. So 5 issues in, and it's still consistent. So they really planned this one well.
Impressive.
Yeah,
to me.
it is. So hats off to DC.
Yeah.
I messed up my hair. For keeping up with that. So that's our countdown, our first official WMT weekly countdown.
I was gonna say we forgot to give away any codes.
We did forget to give away
If you
codes.
want to give away some codes real
Yes.
fast.
Let's give away codes. You can pick one up too. I gotta find it. And it's interesting. I was trying to find these codes on the last time I did this, and I read a thing from Tom Brevoort today as to why the Marvel codes are like towards the end but not at the end. Like there's still pages left, and it has to do with the way that the pages are cut and printed, that where they have to place the sticker and everything.
Yeah.
And that's why it has to be like on the last section of a certain thing. It was a really technical explanation, but there's a reason for it. So I thought that was kind of funny. So this is for Spider-Man 29.9 number 2. If you guys first come first serve, obviously there is your code. That's for that one.
And this is Captain America number 2.
Yeah.
Sam Wilson, Captain America.
There you go for that one.
We will intersperse these in the countdown in
Yeah.
the future. We just forgot.
Yeah, we'll do like a few at the beginning, middle, and end.
Or as they come up.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think we only have one more if you want to do that one
I
too.
believe so. That one? Is that the only other one?
It's the only other Marvel.
Yeah. DC, and you start adding digital codes.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got New Avengers number 2 as soon as I find it. Should be around here somewhere. Oh, turned almost right to it. I'm learning. Alright, so this is your last code for this week. There you go. Alright, so that's going to wrap up. Our first countdown is all the sticker covers that went flying. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you do, leave us a comment below. Let us know what you thought of our picks, what your picks were for the week, and what order,
We'll try and get faster.
Yeah.
For the future.
First one, training wheels.
I'm gonna keep notes next time.
Yeah, exactly. So, and next week's a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
week.
it's.
And then the next week's gonna be even bigger.
And I just started reading with the biggest book of the week.
We were just talking on the Chris and Brant show. Marvel has 17 books out this week.
Oh wow.
Or this coming week.
I
Yeah.
hope we're not getting all of them.
No, we're not. Maybe like 12 of them. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just Marvel. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up, a subscribe, like our Facebook page. We post everything there as well, and check us out on lasttemperpress.com. Last Temper Press's YouTube channel as well. We'll have a live show upcoming. I just mentioned the Chris and Brant show. It should be live now, so you can go check that out. We watch, Chris and I watch Ash vs. Evil Dead #1, episode 1. And yeah, and we talk
comics.
I know. And we talk comics and all kinds of stuff. And then you guys can tune in Monday or Tuesday for our next countdown for this week's books. And then Wednesday or Thursday for our haul, the next haul. So, all right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.